This is the homework solution for pages 43, numbers 9, 21, 22, 23, and 27. Number 9 asks us to express each relation as a table, a graph, and mapping. Then determine the domain and range. Number 9 gave us these four order pairs, and so let's do it. The table format here has the x value here and the y value here. Let's look at the first order pair. The x here is 0. The corresponding y is also 0. Next, -3 is going to be your x, and 2 is going to be your y. Okay? This row here represents this ordered pair. Let's do the next one. 6 is the x, and the corresponding y is 4. Next, this is -1. Corresponding for that one is 1. Okay? Next, we want that in a graph format. So what I have here is the graph. Okay? Okay. So, first of all, let's look at the first point. 0, 0. That is right in the center at 0, 0. The next one, I have to go to -3, then 2. So go right, 1, -3, so you have to go left. 1, 2, 3, then up 2. Okay, -3 to the left, then up 2. Next one is 6, 4. So I have to go to the right 6, then up 4. Okay. Next, it's -1 and 1. So -1 and up 1. Okay. This represents the table format. Okay. Good. All right. So next, let's just grab that table for you so you can see it. Okay. Much better. Now I want the mapping method. Okay. So the mapping method has the two boxes, the domain and the range. Okay. The first one is 0. So I can write here in pen for you. Okay. This can be 0. Then I have a -3. Then I have a 6. And I have a 1. Okay. This is not okay because we want it in order, right? So the smallest number that we have is your -3. So the smallest number here is -3. Then the second smallest is -1. Then we have 0. Then we have 6. Okay. Next, the range. Okay. The smallest y value that's here is a 0. Next, it is, let's look at it. I have a 2, 4, and a 1. So the next one would be 1 because we have to do it in order. Right. Next, it is a 2. Then lastly, it looks like that is a 4. Okay. Now what we have to do is draw an arrow. Okay. Each arrow represents an ordered pair. So the first one, okay, is 0, 0. So I'll go from 0 here to this 0. That is one arrow. The next one is -3, 2. So -3 and 2 is right here. So that's another arrow. Next is 6, 4. 6, 4. Next one is -1 to 1. Notice that there are 4 arrows representing 4 order pairs. So let me just grab this image here. Okay, and give you that image. Okay. Right. So here you have the table format, the graph, and the domain and range. Okay, the mapping gives you already the domain and range, but we could even write it. The domain here, okay, right, is -3, -1, 0, and 6. Okay, the range, okay, is 0, 1, 2, and 4. Okay, there you go. The domain comes from this box, and the range comes from this box, alright? That is the usefulness of the mapping method. Here we express each relation as a table, graph, mapping, and we were able to determine the domain and range. Okay, 21, 22, and 23 uses the same graph here at the right. The first one asks us to name an ordered pair at point A and explain what it represents. So let's look at what point A is. So point A is right here, if you notice. Okay, to go there, I have to go 1. Okay, it's 1 is in the x direction, and I go up 5. Right there, it says 5. Okay, let's see what it means. 1, right, the x-axis here shows us the number of dogs walked, and the y-axis, okay, let's look at the y-axis. Right here, it's a dollar amount, which is the dollar amount earned. Okay, it's useful to look at the x-axis and the y-axis here. Now, because it asks us to explain what it represents, this means, right, the x-axis here is 1. Okay, right here, right? So the number 1 is the number of dogs walked. Okay, so do you see the number 1 here was the x-axis number, and that is the number of dogs walked. Okay, right? Therefore, okay, the output is the dollar amount earned. Therefore, $5 is the amount earned. Okay, see how I just plug in the x-axis value here for the x-axis, and for the y-axis, okay, I use the y-axis amount. Okay, it always follows this format. I use the word therefore because the output relies on the input. Okay, the independent variable, and this is the dependent variable. Okay, next it says name the ordered pair at point B. Point B is 2 numbers of dogs walked and $5 earned. So that is number 22. Number 22 asks us to do that. So the x-axis, right, for number 22, point B, is 2. So it is 2x equals to 2, okay, and y equals to 10. Y equals to 10. The order pair looks like this, right? 2 for the x, 10 for the y. Okay, and what represents is, let's plug it into this format. Okay, right? Remember, again, the x-axis is the number of dogs walked. Here right, 2 is the number of dogs walked. Okay, I'm going to make that red so you can see that much better. Therefore, right, therefore, how much money was earned? Right, the y value is $10. Amount earned. Okay, there you go. Okay, that is what number to represent. Number 23, it says identify the independent and dependent variables. Okay, what I want you to understand from our notes is this: the independent variable, okay, or independent, okay, is always the input. We also call that the what? x values. For in our case, it is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the independent values are this, right? Which is also called the domain, okay? Which is 1 to 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Dogs. Right? There you go. So that's your independent input x value and also domain. Okay? Next, your dependent. Okay? Is equal to your output, which is equal to your y value. Oops. Okay. Uh, that's not good. Dependent. Okay, which is also called your output. Okay, which is called your output. Which is also called your y value, which is also called your range. Okay, that in this case is $5, $10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay, so it is the dollar amount of 5, dollar amount of 10, dollar amount of 15, dollar amount of 20, dollar amount of 25, dollar amount of 30. I think we go all the way up here to 40, dollar amount. Okay, dollar amount of 30, 35, and the dollar amount of 40. Right, there you go. So we could say the range is this amount, right? All these dollar amounts. Okay, that is the range here. Good. The last one is number 27. Number 27, express each relation as a set of ordered pairs. Describe the domain and range. Looking at this, hopefully you understand that this is in the table format. Okay? From the table format, we could already generate some ordered pairs. So remember that the first column here is your x-axis, and the second column here is its corresponding y value. So the first one is 1. For the x, the corresponding is the dollar amount of 2.5. 2.5, so that's $2.50. The second order pair is 2, comma, $4.50. The next one is 5 fishes. That corresponds to $10.50. And the last one is your eat number of fishes, and that corresponds to $16.50. Okay, this is the table format that helps us generate these ordered pairs. Okay, my domain, the domain refers to my x values. So let's look at the x values. Your domain, okay, exists in a set of 1. Then the next value is 2. The next value is 5. And the next value is 8. Okay? This, okay, is what represents the domain. The range are all my y values. Okay, let's look at some y values. The first y value is $2.50. $2.50. The next one is $4.50. The third one is $10.50. And the last one is $16.50. Alright. So this represents the range, right? My y values. The domain, I want to give you some context to what 1, 2, 5, and 8 means in the context of this problem. This means the number of fish or fishes, okay? And this is going to be your total cost. Okay, that is what your range represents. So this is the homework solution for page 43.